Disclaimer: this video is not meant for kids, but for a general audience as a whole, meaning teens, adults, and seniors may also enjoy the video for production value and nostalgia. With that said, please enjoy.
Hey! If you're watching this on YouTube but you're getting ready to watch my content on my YouTube channel, I would encourage you to hit the subscribe button because this video is not made for kids, it's for all the fans and the adults. So sit back and enjoy the video.
Northwestern Railway, what's your function? Pleasing lots of people by a massive handful. Trains! They haul everything safely and on time. Tracks! They connect the industries built along the line. They got the stuff to keep this railway shining like a star. The trains, tracks, and bridges, oh, they'll get you pretty far. Northwestern Railway, what's your function? Pleasing lots of people by a massive handful. Northwestern Railway, how's that function? Working really hard and being very careful.
Hey, Percy, guess what?
Humphrey, it's like almost 6 in the morning.
You're right! Sir Robert Normanby has invited us to go on a trip to York.
To York? Whatever for?
Yes, to the National Railway Museum. You, me, and Duck. Isn't that right, Duck? Great. Come on, Percy, ignite that fire. We gotta get rolling.
Must it be this early?
Percy, just go with them. You can sleep on the flatbed during your trip.
So with that, Percy reluctantly ignited his fire and puffed on over to the flatbed to get loaded up.
Alright, bring him up. And there you go.
Once Percy was loaded, Duck put the breakdown train back to the Harwick branch and fetched a coach for Sir Robert and some other passengers. Good morning, Sir Robert. I hope we're not too late.
Not to worry, Humphrey. You're right on time. I even brought a few members for the Topham family too. Bertram and Sally had, the children of Sir Richard, and Sir Rowan, the brother of Sir Stephen.
A brother?
Yes, Sir Ski. Sir Loam's the name. Jokes and entertainment at your service. My brother told me all about you.
Oh, has he? Well, pleasure to meet you. Hop on board to the York Express.
Lovely joking.
Is everybody ready?
All set.
All set!
Okay, everyone. It's go time.
It's alright. I went before we left.
We better take a rest at Manchester, and then continue to York tomorrow. It's a 2-hour ride from there. So that's what the engines did. They found an engine shed next to the airport at Manchester, while their passengers booked a hotel to stay for the night.
Well, the first several morning trains. Time to go. Alright, so this must be York. Excuse me. May one of you direct us to the museum? Oh, right. Not everyone here is sentient. That building over there looks promising. Maybe I could ask someone there. Excuse me. Excuse me.
What? Huh? What?
Yes, hello. Apologies for interrupting your nap. Is this by chance York?
Oh, yes. Where'd you come from?
The island of Sodor.
Sodor. Well, that's a surprise. We haven't had anyone from Sodor since 1990.
We?
A staff at the National Railway Museum.
This is the National Railway Museum?
The one and only.
Oh, aces! We made it! Oh, thank you so much, sir! Everyone! We're here! The passengers and the Topham family were most delighted. They booked in their tickets and they entered the museum, while Percy arrived at the York yard to get unloaded from the flatbed, and the other engines entered in the locomotive entry of the museum.
Does he know that half of these engines are series of Soto? This shouldn't be new to him.
Just let him have fun, Duck. Being in a railway museum is at least new to him. And for us, too. So this is the National Railway Museum, eh? I can get used to this.
Smashing! Now you all have to stay together, and I'm gonna go snap some photos and have myself a good time.
The engines were having the time of their lives. There he is, in all his glory. The engine, the myth, the legend, Mallard, the fastest steam locomotive in the world, clocking 126 miles per hour on July 3rd, 1938.
Quite so, my boy. And did you know that there were plans made to try and make me go faster? Unfortunately, fate had other ideas, especially involving World War II. But that's all right. Because of my streamlined appearance was used in the P2 classes, 2003 to 2006, even the rebuild of Gressley's Class W1. Hush, hush.
How innovative!
Indeed. But sometimes I think my speed is a curse. Did you know that before the Flying Scotsman was chosen to take a trip to Australia, I happened to be a candidate to go there instead?
Wait, you plan to go to Australia too? So how come you haven't gone to the land down under?
Bad timing. I was scheduled to sail to Australia in 1988, but my trip was cancelled in December a year prior. Mainly because 1988 marked my 50th anniversary of hitting that speed record. so I had to stay. Such a shame. I was really looking forward to meeting Pendennis Castle there, who was on the continent at the time from 77 to 2000.
Pendennis Castle?
Oh, I heard him once. He's a great wrestling class hall.
My word! If I had a nickel for every time a Great Western engine did something before Scotsman did, I'd have 2 nickels. Which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it happened twice, right?
Well, my life may have been a tad turbulent, but all in all, I've lived a good life on the rails. 2013 was especially memorable, reuniting with my other 6 siblings. Spencer, Union of South Africa, Sir Nigel, Dwight D. Eisenhower, Britain. Oh, how I've missed them.
That must have been your best highlights in railway life. Well, thank you for sharing some knowledge with us, Mallard.
Excuse me, sir. Are you the owner of this locomotive?
No, but me nephew is. I'm sure he won't mind. What's on your mind?
We're going to have a couple engines on the demonstration line, and we were wondering if this Panya tank engine would volunteer.
Ooh, what a marvelous idea!
Then my station line.
Outside of the museum were 3 sets of track: narrow gauge, standard gauge, and broad gauge. This is what's known as the demonstration line. Percy was most impressed seeing both the standard and narrow gauge engines rolling on it. And he was most excited to see Duck being the next standard gauge engine to run the line.
Shouldn't have skipped me coffee. If only we had some of those little cups of grounded beans.
Meanwhile, inside, Humphrey communicated with another well-known engine at the museum. Oh my gosh! Evening Star! The last 9F ever built! Let alone the last steam engine built by British Railways.
Precisely. Built in 1960 and ran services until 65. I sure stood out of all of my other siblings, painted in a bronze green rather than goods engine black. Aside from my banking and goods run, I also got the opportunity to hold passenger express runs too. Well, at least for a short time. Many were concerned about my running gear being ravaged from high speeds, and topping it off, I was marked for preservation here on the day I was built.
Golly whiz. That must have been one heck of a finale for steam services on the main line.
Quite so, lad. A grand final hurrah for steam.
Well, at least we have a good epilogue for this book of steam locomotion. And a nice start to a new chapter. We still have some steam engines running, and even some new ones currently being built, too. Like we just had Beachy Head, and including, from what I heard, next year, a new
Humphrey, let's go! There's a demonstration line event happening.
Oh, cool! Sorry, ma'am. I guess I'm needed elsewhere. It was an honor to meet you, Evening Star.
Enchanted as always, especially with guests like you.
Percy and Humphrey exited the museum to watch Duck on the demonstration line. But to their horror, they saw Duck being loaded on the broad gauge track, due to the driver feeling so fatigued.
Alright, just turn on the winch.
Is this just me, or is this track broken too wide?
Oh no! Duck's going to get rolled onto the wrong track!
Hey, stop! Percy and Humphrey whistled loud and long to get the lorry driver's attention, but it was too late. Duck was lowered onto the broad gauge track. The sleepers cracked and splintered wood flew about until Duck tumbled to a halt. Luckily, no one was hurt.
Oops. Oh boy.
So this is broad gauge Thomas told me about.
Goodness, I guess you could say he wasn't on the right track.
Sir, please.
What, too soon?
Duck was towed back onto the lorry and taken to the workshop next to the museum.
Is his engine okay?
Oh, he's okay. His boiler ticket expired.
While Duck's chassis was getting repaired, Percy took over for Duck on the demonstration line. Everyone was amazed. Impressive. The engine spent the night at the museum, and then the next day, it was time to go home.
Well, Sir Robert, that was a lovely juggly trip. Thank you for bringing us with you. I bet you had lots of fun. I saw you snapping numerous photos.
Indeed I have, Sir Loam. Not just for memory, but I'm using it for a reference of a project I've been assigned for too long.
Is that so? What kind of project?
Oh, I wish I could tell you, but I mustn't spoil the surprise. For now, let's all head it home.
Farewell, engines of soda, and tell Murdoch I said hello.
Godspeed, lads. Have a safe journey back.
You mates take care. Tell Thomas we say hi.
Goodbye. Nice to see you, all of you.
And with the blow of the whistle, the cavalcade left the museum and stopped at Barrow-in-Furness for a rest, while the Topham family and Sir Robert took an Uber over the Jubilee Bridge and made their way back to Sodor. Look at that, lads. It's the morning milk, making its way to Sodor. We better make our way back to Sodor, too. And they did just that. Last 2 days on Sodor, Gordon and the Flying Scotsman will be static displays at Vickerstown.
Right on time, Scott.
The two Gresleys parked themselves by the sheds. The residents at Vickerstown sheds were most excited to see the Flying Scotsman being displayed on the turntable. Ah, Vickerstown sheds. Oh, what's this? A dried-up ditch? Looks like the same one you plunged into long ago, brother.
Let's not bring that up.
By the time Timothy was repaired and working again at the clay pits, Duck was able to return back to the Little Western branch line. He couldn't wait to tell his friends about his meet and greet with the Flying Scotsman. The last place he told about his event was at the Arlesdale Railway. He informed the miniature engines that Flying Scotsman turns 100 this year, but by a sheer coincidence, another engine on the Arlesdale Railway is turning 100 as well. That would be Rex, though his birthday is on May. Duck collected the ballast and puffed off to his next destination. But as he left, Jock, whom Duck was talking to, got a little idea. The next day, the plan was set into action.
Good morning, Mr. Clark.
Good morning, engines. I've got a special announcement today. You're in for a treat, Rex. Now, your birthday's not until May. However, another engine called the Flying Scotsman is also turning 100 this year, so you'll be hitched to a train to Vickerstown to see him.
Sir, that sounds amazing. I'll take it as an early birthday gift.
Max! You leaving again? Don't
tell us you want to explore the mainland again like you did back in 2018.
Well, we've also been away from the railway before, remember? To attend the Great Little Railway Show back in 2020.
Fair points.
Marvelous. All Kosatoma had to make the visit possible.
So Mr. Clark contacted Sir Topham Hatt about the idea, and he was quick to agree. While Rex would be away, Jock would handle his freight work, while the Sacred of Arlesdale would cover his passenger trains. Rex was lifted onto the flatbed, and the miniature green engine made his way to Knapford to meet up with the express to Vickerstown. I wonder who would take Rex to Vickerstown. Flying Scotsman, here we are, on time. Pardon my timidity. It's a true honor meeting you, sir. If it's acceptable to you, may I have a picture taken with you, please?
Ooh, yes.
Okay, that wasn't very enthusiastic, but thanks for helping me practice.
You really think you'll see him?
Well, there's a really good chance today, and if not, then there's always a next time, but I'm really hoping it would be today. Well, there's my coaches. I best be off then.
Hold on, Humphrey. Before you go, you're bringing someone with you.
Oh? Who would it be?
As luck would have it, Rex is also turning 100 this year. Mr. Clark and I have agreed to allow Rex to visit the Flying Scotsman's Way before he leaves tomorrow.
Oh, that's marvelous! I'm delighted to oblige, sir. So Rex was shunted in front of the coaches, and Humphrey buffered up to the front of the miniature engine. Both of them were highly excited. Alrighty, Rex. It's Vickerstown or bust. The guard's whistle blew, and the camelback engine departed from Knapford. A chorus of whistles and a horn wished the engines luck. Ah, the Crosby washdown. I wish I had a quick rinse before I see the Scotsman. Oh well, no time for that. Humphrey was making good time until they reached a junction at Kildane. A young boy with a camera was starting to trespass. He was making a video on how switches work. He carelessly set the points in the wrong direction, and Humphrey was puffing down the wrong track. Hold on. That looks like the repair yard from Gordon Takes a Shortcut. Humphrey put on his brakes and stopped.
Everything okay, Humphrey?
It seems we took a wrong turn. This is the mainline loop. We'll have to backtrack. So that's what Humphrey did. I apologize for the delay, everyone. Don't worry, it'll all be sorted. And then there was trouble. The points were aligned with the main line, and not the switch Humphrey was puffing out of.
Humphrey!
The signalman
Humphrey,
waved his
stop!
red flag, but it was too late. The bogies on the brake coach derailed.
Egad! Everyone okay?
What on earth has happened?
Some trespasser hopped into the signal box and fiddled with the levers. He looked like that YouTuber, Stenson Dudley.
Well, isn't that just peachy? We were running down the line so fine, and that little trespasser had to waltz about and interfere!
Humphrey, relax. I'm sure that boy will be on house arrest once he's caught.
House arrest, yes. A lot better than getting grounded. That kid should know that trespassing is a crime and tampering with railway
Humphrey.
equipment is vandalism!
Humphrey, that's enough. When we arrive at Vickerstown, you'll sit in the siding for several minutes until you calm down.
This is outrageous. I'm going to be late.
The brake coach isn't badly derailed. You can slowly pull it back on the rails and we'll work from there.
With that, Humphrey slowly puffed forward, and the brake coach re-railed back on the tracks. The signalman went back into the signal box and switched the points so the train would properly reverse back onto the main line. The passengers grumbled. Everyone was going to be late now, and Humphrey felt miserable. Humphrey tried to speed down the line, but still they were a few minutes late when they arrived. When they pulled into the platform, Humphrey uncoupled from the train and sat in a shed at the shunting yards. Thomas shunted Rex into the Vickerstown sheds and then took the coaches to the shunting yards, where he saw Humphrey shedding a lot of tears.
Humphrey? What's the matter?
Oh, it's just awful. A simple train to Vickerstown, thwarted by some trespasser. It was gonna be one of the best days of my life, and it's ruined. I was finally gonna be happy. I was finally gonna be satisfied after a long, hard week. Something to get my mind off of you not crediting me.
Not giving you credit?
Don't act all clueless. You know what I'm talking about. Tidmouth Harbor? I was the one who suggested the idea of the Scott Con. And you just puffed away in excitement without a single care in the world to thank
Oh, yeah. Oh, Humphrey. I'm so sorry for not mentioning you that day. Please, let me make it up to you.
Thomas, what's all the commotion?
Sir, not only is Humphrey upset with that trespasser, but with me too. Humphrey was the one who thought of the idea for ScottCon. I got all excited and I didn't credit him when I put it together. Please, sir, may Humphrey see the Flying Scotsman before he leaves tomorrow?
Well, I can see that both of you are sorry. Okay, Humphrey, you may see Scotsman.
Oh, thank you, sir, replied Humphrey happily and made his way to the sheds.
And Thomas, I shall speak with you later.
At Vickerstown sheds, Flying Scotsman and Rex were having a conversation when Humphrey slowly rattled up to the sheds. He was really bashful now.
And who do we have here?
Hello. My name is Humphrey. I'm a camelback locomotive.
A camelback locomotive? Well, you sure look like an impressive engine.
Oh, thank you, sir.
We heard about your encounter with that Railfan. Sounded like you threw quite a raid.
Yeah.
At least you didn't do anything drastic, like throwing lumps of coal at them. On my first American run, a group of boys threw stones at me. One of them had a gun and shot my tender.
Then on its return back, his crew threw heaps of coal at the boys. Karma's a fine female dog if you ask me.
Indeed, dear brother. Humphrey had a good laugh and continued on with their conversation. Finally, the day came for Flying Scotsman to take the train from Vickerstown back home.
Thank you for visiting, Scotsman. I hope our path will cross again.
I'm sure we will, Gordon. My mainline certificate won't expire until 2032. And Humphrey, it was very nice to meet you. And it was an honor meeting you as well, sir. And to Railfan number 1, congratulations on reaching 100 episodes on my 100th birthday. Who are you talking to? Oh, no one.
You ready to take off, Scotsman?
Righto, driver. It's Network Rail or bust! The guard's whistle blew, and Flying Scotsman hauled the train out of the station and onto the mainland, with Jiff following behind. Well, well. All's well that ends well. And Thomas, I'm sorry I lost my temper with you yesterday.
To be fair, I did deserve it. But I forgive you. And again, I'm sorry for not giving you the credit for ScotCon that you deserved.
Apology accepted, Thomas. Now let's head back to the west of the island. We've got a railway to run. And the Camelback and tank engine did just that.
Oh, here comes Gordon.
Oh, you silly missile on wheels. You ruined my video.
Hey, I like that missile on wheels. Besides, I'm sure they didn't mean to. Incidents happen like this all the time on the mainland.
The 80th anniversary was right around the corner, and some big plans were being cooked up by Sir Topham Hatt.
Alright everyone, settle down. Okay now, I know that while a large amount of you are all excited for the 80th anniversary, there are others, me included, who are having some concerns of things going wrong.
Bubbling boilers. I haven't felt this way since '95.
I don't blame you. There's going to be a lot of pressure this year. Remember Canadian Pacific 2816's trip in Mexico?
Incoming!
Crazy how despite in the modern era, we have people that still break the rules, specifically those standing too close to the tracks.
Approximately 10 feet away to be precise. You know, why don't we send an engine out to ensure the line is clear, like what Edward did back in 53 and 2022?
No, that is a brilliant idea, Gordon. Okay, so I'm thinking James should cover the main line.
While Sir Topham had explained the procedure of how the anniversary would be celebrated, Humphrey noticed that 3 of his friends were feeling gloomy in a goods shed. So he decided to do a welfare check on them. Kana, Bruno, Sandy, what's troubling you 3?
Well, it seems like everyone will be looking forward to seeing you all. Everyone but us. We weren't the most popular for the past 4 years thanks to those bullies who looked down on us for the reboot. Sometimes I feel like our arrivals were a mistake.
And with the reboot ending this year, those bullies will only get more happy. I'm worried that we'll eventually be forgotten. Oh.
these again. Look, girls, and guy, I know that there are people out there who weren't fond of your debut, let alone the whole reboot of Thomas. But that's just one of the features of society. There's always that one group who sees the bad side of things and shove it down our tracheas time and time again. So what? Big whoop. They're just one-trick ponies who got nothing better to do. It doesn't matter what they think. Everything changes once in a while. The look of the show, the look of the illustrations of the books. Heck, even over the years, our whole railway has gone through changes. But the one thing that will never change is the core values. The core values that Steam will always be working on this island. The core values that this railway will remain in operation no matter who arrives to work. The core values of welcoming engines who have the desire and passion of working on Sodor. And those core values, no one will ever take from us. I've seen you all do great things for the railway, maintaining the tracks, keeping trains orderly, and managing the passenger runs on the Peel-Godfred branch line so well. Besides, a while back, Edward once told me that the island isn't just some place for filming. This is a railway. A railway that turns 110 this year, the year of Railway 200. While some of our friends will cease the day, we can cease the year. Stay by our side, and I promise you, we will make this year the best year of our lives. Nothing will interfere with us when we stand together. Together as one!
United we stand.
Together we fall.
Alright everyone, let's unload the morning milk. And while we're at it, let's say our goodbyes to Edward. This morning, he's resigning from the morning milk. Thank you for having us, Edward.
Thanks, lads. It was pretty fun while it lasted.
Edward, hurry up! I got our coaches ready. We're waiting at the platform.
Coming, Thomas. I gotta go now. But thank you. Now we've got a railway to run.
Dylan Cole here, live at Timothy Station by Platform 6 next to mainline train hauled by the Northwestern Railways numbers 3 and 4, Henry and Gordon. Today is a spectacular day, as May 12, 2025 marks the 80th anniversary since the Reverend Wilbur Audrey wrote the books about Thomas, Edward, Henry, Gordon, and the rest of their friends back in 1945. To celebrate this momentous occasion, there will be 2 trains running across the island of Sodor. As mentioned earlier, Henry and Gordon will cover all locations on the main line, while at the same time, Northwestern Railways numbers 1 and 2, Thomas and Edward, will cover all the branch lines of the island. And there goes our rail speeder Sandy, and the Northwestern Railways number 5, James, ensuring the lines are free of those who treacherously approach too close to the tracks. Now, I'm about to hop on board the mainline service and keep you updated with the train's runs. For now, all aboard!
Down the main line, Sandy was on her way to the Kirk Ronan Harbor to make sure no one was standing too close to the tracks, when something ahead of her caught her eye on the other side of Balladrine Bridge. It looked like the tracks were sagging. Upon closer inspection, the tracks were sagging. The river below was eroding some of the bank away. Sandy knew that sagging rails could make an engine derail. So she darted back to the last signal box she passed, informed the signalman, who informed the signalman at Knapford, who requested Rebecca should pick up some workmen and tools. Bruno was sitting in the Knapford shunting yards when Rebecca hitched up to him with the unit's coach.
Bruno, there you are.
Rebecca, what happened?
The track on Balladrine Bridge is in need of repairs. I've got the workmen, and you've got some tools.
As soon as Rebecca arrived, the workmen got straight to work. Thankfully, the line parallel to the bridge was safe to cross, so Thomas and Edward cautiously crossed over.
Thanks, Rebecca and Bruno.
Thanks, Rebecca and Bruno.
I hope all the engines are aware of the bridge is under maintenance.
All engines? Wait, Henry and Gordon. They are on. They're way back from Rickerstown. They won't know that the track's under maintenance.
That's it! Kana! She's fast. She'll reach Henry and Gordon and warn them about the bridge.
But she whizzed right by us.
Not if she sees my flares. Quick! Someone look for the flare gun and fire a couple rounds.
I've got it.
The workmen blasted a couple rounds of flares into the air. To their luck, Kana noticed the flares skyrocketing.
Those look like flares. Something must be wrong. Bruno, I saw your flares. What happened?
It's Henry and Gordon. They don't know that the rails on Balladrine Bridge is in repair. They need to slow down.
Say no more.
And Kana darted over the bridge and dashed along the main line.
Gordon, do you hear something?
Sounds like Connor's horn.
I believe it is Kana. On our line! Gordon, stop!
Henry? Gordon?
What happened?
What's
Why'd we
happening
stop?
up there?
Why don't you ask Kana?
Whatever are you playing at?
Sorry guys, but I had to warn you. The track at Balladrine Bridge is under maintenance. I came to tell you to puff carefully.
Heavens above. Wow. You really saved our coaches and passengers.
Let's hit it for Kana! Hooray!
Well, that warning could have been better, but thanks.
And Gordon and Henry cautiously crossed over Balladrine Bridge and thanked Rebecca and Bruno for maintaining the tracks. Once the tracks were replaced, Nia escorted the old rails to the Kronk scrapyard and the Sodor Zoo. At the end of the day, Thomas, Edward, Henry, and Gordon arrived back at Tidmouth Station. The crowds cheered for the engines. Suddenly, the cheers intensified when a couple more engines arrived at Tidmouth Station. it was Kana, Sandy, and Bruno being praised for their actions at Buildering Bridge.
Wow, a lot of people really like us. It's pretty loud, though.
Wow! Listen to that crowd! Earlier today, we cautiously crossed over the Balladrine Bridge that was under repairs due to sagging rails near the river. Now we were extremely lucky that the train didn't derail had it not been our underdogs, Sandy, British Rails Class 800, Kana, and Caboose Bruno. Oh, looks like our special guest has excited the coach and is going to announce something. Wait, who's this? Who is this? What? Why, slap my shoulder blades and call me ripped! It's the grandson of Wilbur Audrey!
And there at the center of attention was none other than Richard Audrey.
Citizens of Sodor, I'm vastly honored to join the Sundrian celebration of milestone of my grandfather's stories. This was definitely our most remarkable, unforgettable, stupendous one yet. What happened near Balladrine Bridge was made up for by the trio of unlikely heroes without capes. What are your names?
The name's Kana.
Sandy. Sandy the rail speeder.
I'm Bruno.
Well, Kana, Sandy, and Bruno, today you've proven to me, your controller, and everyone else that you're reliable. And your actions are credit to your railway.
Absolutely true, Mr. Audrey. You've done your part and been considerate for my engine's safety. Like good families should, you all look out for each other. I couldn't be more happier to have you on my railway. Here's to the 80th anniversary!
And for the first time in their lives, Kana, Sandy, and Bruno truly felt like they found their place. Even though that there are some haters out there who still weren't fond of them, they will never forget that as long as somebody loves you, you will always find a place to call home. And they couldn't think of any better place to thrive on than the island of Sodor. The Peel-Godred branch line is certainly a unique branch line due to its electrification. It's there where you can see Kildane, the main terminal for the motor rail, the Standing Stones, Abbey Station, Shen Valley, Howen Lake Station, Kirk Mat Chan, the transfer station of the Coldefell Railway, a tunnel that goes under the town of Peel-Godred, and the Peel-Godred station itself. There are also some other areas along the line, like a loop at the end that leads to a misty valley, some industrial places like the aluminum works and iron works, balloon factory, a chocolate factory, the waste dump, and the Blue Mountain Quarry. Back then, the latest engines to run the line was a Class 86, 87, and 309. As of now, a fundraiser is to restore all three of them into working order, but until then, some selective engines are working on the line. Mainly Hank, because of his powerful pistons, Murdoch, because of his 10 wheels for great traction, and Humphrey, who, due to his cab being placed over his driving wheels, the weight of it gives his driving wheels more traction to grip the rails better. Afternoon, Kana. Fine day, isn't it? What are you up to?
Oh, hello, Humphrey-san. I'm just on the lookout for any danger.
Danger? What kind of danger?
Well, back in Japan, there are spirits looking for revenge known as the Tekes.
And Kana told Humphrey about the Tekes. They're women who got into a freak accident at a railway station, resulting them in losing their legs. They crawl along the ground with their spines dragging, making a teke noise, hence their name. Their only objective is to hunt down any human being and take their legs. Humphrey was hushed. His wheels were wobbling.
And once you hear about the Teke, you'll receive a visit from one. Alright, I better get going. I have an extended run to Vickerstown. Gotta dash!
And Kana left Abbey Station, and leaving behind a rather worrisome camelback. And for a little while now, Humphrey remained alert. At every station he departed, approached, or even stood. One night, he was taking an evening train to Peel. His first stop was at Kildare. Now every engine should know that on a branch line, you have to stop at every station along the line, which gave Humphrey plenty of time to look around for this Teke. As he stopped at Abbey Station, Murdoch passed by with the goods train. Humphrey gazed at his train. Let's see. Scrap, half a human, and brakeman. Alright, well, Murdoch's pulling a scrap train with a half a human! It must be a Teke! It's on his train! I gotta warn him! And Humphrey did just that. But he forgot one thing. He was on a branch line. His crew held him back at each station to drop off as well as pick up some passengers, which only enticed Humphrey's concern for Murdoch. Hold on, lad! I'm coming! He finally made it to the terminal station, Peel. As Humphrey waited to get going again to tell Murdoch, he noticed a horrific sight. A passenger missing its legs. Ah! One of my passengers! He lost his legs to the Teke!
Wait, what? No, he didn't. He was just on his phone and fell between the platform and the coach.
Alright, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to.
Well, no matter. Everyone push on the coach so we can widen the gap.
All the passengers and staff members got to the side of the coach and pushed with all their might. As the coach tilted, the gap became wide enough for the wedged man to be free and pulled out back onto the platform.
You okay, sir?
Phew. Thanks for the help there, lads.
Everyone was relieved, including Humphrey. Just then, Murdoch pulled alongside him with the ingots train. Humphrey, what's all the commotion about? Sorry, Murdoch. It's just, I thought one of my passengers lost their legs to a Teke, and I thought there was a Teke on your train too. It's a vengeful spirit in the form of half a human missing its legs. Half a human? Oh, you must be referring to the St. Machin bust. Take a peek for yourself. And there, standing proudly on display, was a bust of St. Machin. I had to deliver it here to Peel. Now, if you'd excuse me, The sooner I get this ingots train to Barrow-in-Furness, the better, so I can have a peaceful sleep. And Murdoch did just that. But by the time he reached Kildane, he made the decision to tell Kana everything, who just happened to be there. Kana couldn't help but laugh. But laughter aside, she did feel bad. So the following day at Callan Station, she decided to apologize.
You silly camelback, it's only an urban legend! But I'm sorry it scared you.
Thankfully, Humphrey was a forgiving engine.
Well, hope you have a nice day.
Thank you, Kana. You as well. What an event. And with a month like this, surely there'll be more to it. Mind if we have a picture with you? Huh? Oh, by all means, go right ahead. I mean, not every day you get to see a camelback in operation. All right, you lot. Big smiles.
Autumn. A really nice season. While the sun is warm, the air can be crisp and cool. Minus the slippery rails from leaves, the engines liked this season. It was also during the time of Halloween as well. And as you and I know, strange occurrences can be looming about. There's a week in October in particular that Henry doesn't want to stick around his berth at Vickerstown and sleeps in his forest instead. One evening during this week, Humphrey was taking a train up to Barrow-in-Furness. He had a long day of work and was quite tired. He was about to leave Vickerstown when he noticed that one of the engines at the sheds was missing. I wonder where Henry's gotten to. I'm not sure, old boy, but you do sound tired. I'm sure the other residents won't mind you staying at the sheds for the night. You do sound awfully tired. Okay, driver. So with that, Humphrey puffed into Vickerstown sheds. Evening, folks. Is this berth taken?
Not really. By all means. Go ahead.
Billy? You sure that's a good idea? What about the Spectre?
What Spectre?
Never mind. I just hope he doesn't pay a visit. Yes, by all means, Humphrey. You may rest here for the night.
And so, Humphrey did. For a short while. During the night, Humphrey couldn't help but feel uneasy. The chilly surrounding air was starting to get colder, and he was starting to feel a little paranoid, as if someone or something was watching him. Just then, he saw a mysterious figure dragging his feet near the turntable of Vickerstown sheds. Excuse me, sir. Are you trespassing here? The figure didn't answer, but he turned into Humphrey's direction and started to walk towards him. What does that man want? You there! What are you doing at this time of night? Hey, don't you open that door! But the figure didn't need to open the door. With Humphrey's feared bewilderment, the figure faced right through the door. What are you? In terror, Humphrey let out a horrified scream.
What sort of screaming about?
There's a spirit! A spirit! Right there! What? No, but
He was just here. He had like a bandaged head. And the bandages were stained.
That was it. Now do you remember, Billy? The spirit of the head-bandaged driver.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't even remember.
How could you forget? We remind you every year.
Well, I don't want to talk about ghosts all this year, so I'm focusing on my work and shake off the paranoia.
Alright, you two. Enough squabbling. Humphrey, I think you should know the story about a driver from a long time ago.
And this is the story Bear told Humphrey. The year was 1923, and the driver was stoking up an engine. Unfortunately for him, the engine he was driving was a bad steamer. With the pull of the throttle, the engine slowly crawled out of the station and away from the platform with its passenger train. What made the situation worse was the driver wasn't a patient type of man. He kept stoking and closing and opening the regulator again, until finally, by accident, the engine gave the driver a backburn from its firebox. The driver survived, but with his face burnt, he will never see again. He hasn't lived very long either, and drank himself to his grave. Over the decades, around Vickerstown, there have been reports and sightings of a mysterious man dressed in the uniform of an engine driver, trudging along, finding the engine that burnt his face.
Excuse me, sir. You can't be here. This is railway property. Good heavens!
And every year, on the week of the incident, the head bandage driver continues to stroll along Vickerstown to scold at the engine who burnt his face. He must have mistaken you for your green livery.
But you're Green Bear.
Well, he's only familiar with steam engines.
Oh my. What happened to the engine that accidentally burned his face?
He'll be okay. He's still with us on the island. He's sleeping in the shed in his forest.
Forest? Henry! Of course! He was a bad steamer until his intake of Welsh coal and the Kipper crash. But I don't get it. Why didn't any of you tell me about this figure in the first place?
Would you have believed us if we told you?
Well, even if I do believe in supernatural things, I probably would have thought you guys tried to scare me, so short answer is no. Well, now I do know. Let's just try to get some rest. Now that the spirit's gone, we should be okay.
You're right. Let's just try to get as much sleep as we can.
And that's just what the engines all did. One by one, they slowly fell asleep again. On a roll. Humphrey is a camelback engine who lives and works along the main line on the island of Sodor. He's a considerate and kind engine with 10 wheels, a cab in the middle, and a large Wooten firebox. And recently for Christmas last year, on his tender, he has Timken roller bearings on his axles. Now for those who don't know, roller bearings are a type of axle bearings where the axle flows on a cushion of rollers in the wheel. That way there's no friction whatsoever. Not like a majority of the rolling stock on the island, where they were from the pre-war era. Those old-style bearings, if not lubricated frequently, would occasionally overheat from so much metallic friction and result in what's known as a hot box. If the axle and bearings overheats for too long, then the metal would warp, break, and derail the train. Thankfully, not many derailments occur the moment you see smoke emerging from the journal boxes. One day, Humphrey was taking a delivery from the Sodor Bakery up to Vickerstown shunting yards for a transfer. He was just singing along when he felt a slight drag coming from his train. What's that noise? I feel a bit of a tug on my train. I wonder if one of the vans slipped their brakes on. Further ahead was Balagita Road Crossing. Some road vehicles had the right of way and the gates were closed for the trains. So Humphrey thought it'd be a good time to stop and have one of his crew members inspect the train. Aaron was on the other side on the other line with a goods train from the mainland.
Hello, Humphrey. You seem tense. Are you okay?
Just a little, Aaron. I feel a slight tug on my train, as if something's dragging. Could be one of the vans from my train. Won't be long now until I reach Vickerstown, so it shouldn't be too much of a problem at this point. I'll see you later.
Okay then, see you later.
At Vickerstown shunting yards, the goods were transferred, and an engine from the mainland took the food away. And with the toot of his whistle, Humphrey made his way back to the Knapford sheds. And he started to feel the drag again. This left Humphrey more puzzled. He thought that it could be one of his tender brakes slipped on by accident. After his excruciating trip back to the sheds, Humphrey's crew examined his tender, but found that all of his brakes were off. This left Humphrey even more puzzled. If the drag didn't come from the van's brakes or the tender brakes, then what could it be? The next day, the firelighter and cleaner came to start up the engines. While the firelighter lit up the engine's fire, the cleaner, who was new to the job, started to lubricate all the joints and movable parts, or at least as many as he could, for he was prone to being forgetful. As he left, he not only forgot to lubricate Humphrey's tender wheels and axles, but he also forgot his oil can. And by the time Humphrey's crew arrived, they noticed that the oil can was left behind.
Oh, bother! The cleaner forgot his oil can!
We'll give it back to him when we see him later. Right now, we need to make up for lost time. My alarm failed to go off.
Oh man, I cannot let my driver lose his job right now. I'm still helping him pay off some of the stuff he got me for my shrine. You know, now that I look at this, I may need a larger shelf.
I have several questions.
With a nice lot of steam made, Humphrey left the sheds, fetched some coaches, and made his way to Lower Tidmouth. He needed to pick up some male students and take them to Abbey, where a bus will pick them up from there and take them to school. With the boys on board, the guard blew his whistle, and Humphrey departed and made his journey to the Peel Godred branch line. As he traversed down the main line, he started to feel the drag again. Only this time, it felt worse than yesterday, and he was starting to get a stinging sensation. Ooh, I better slow down. Decreasing the speed made him feel less pain,
But then he thought about his passengers. If I don't arrive to the station on time, the students will miss their bus. I can't let that happen. I mustn't slow down. But he had to stop regardless. For conveniently up ahead, Crosby Crossing had its gates closed. As Humphrey stopped, Humphrey's firemen saw the opportunity to check what was going on really quick. And he was surprised to see that one of Humphrey's journal boxes on his tender started to faintly smoke. Then he remembered the forgotten oil can.
Huh. Well now, looks like the cleaner forgetting the oil can was a blessing in disguise.
So the fireman took his chance. While Humphrey waited for all the road vehicles to cross over, his fireman took his shovel and carefully opened the journal box to see the burning roller bearings, grabbed his water bottle and cooled off the roller bearings, and oiled them up so that way they can run smoothly again before scrambling back into the cab and leaving to continue the rest of the journey. And surprisingly, during the rest of the journey, Humphrey didn't feel the drag anymore, and he wasn't in any excruciating pain. And right on the nick of time, Humphrey arrived at Abbey Station. Humphrey was relieved, but now once again puzzled. I don't feel the drag anymore since we left the crossing. What even happened?
What's happened? Your roller bearings weren't rolling because they weren't oiled. That's what's happened.
My perfect roller bearings? They were the culprit? And they needed to be checked over too?
Well, Humphrey, it looks like we've learned a lesson today. Even things like new technology can have some wear and tear. Your roller bearings can only work for so long before they need to be oiled up. You take good care of them, and you'll have a long service life ahead of you.
Wow. I didn't even think of that. I suppose you're right, driver. So for the rest of the afternoon, James handled Humphrey's work. And as for Humphrey, he went to the repair yard on the loop line for a quick checkup on his roller bearings. The workmen there made sure that all his roller bearings on each axle were well lubricated. And Humphrey made sure that the newly hired cleaner would always remember to oil up his roller bearings, so that way he could take good care of himself and live a long life. And that goes for you all too. It's important to take good care of yourselves. Trim up your nails, brush your teeth, eat some produce, don't take drugs, and you'll live a long, healthy life. Good day to you all.